Hi everybody, welcome to Hannah's Lens. My name is Hannah. I am a nurse researcher, an epidemiologist, and an implementation scientist. If you've been struggling manually inserting your references or citing your work, choosing or formatting your citation styles, then this video is for you. Today's topic is very close to my heart because I was once there. I once struggled manually citing my work. I struggled formatting my references. I struggled inserting my references into my Word documents and making sure that the formatting was correct. But once I discovered the secret of automating my references, then that was a game changer. And today, I want to loop you into this interesting topic. Make sure you have your notebooks ready, take a lot of notes, and make sure to put everything that you learn from this video into practice. Welcome. I have my screen on this side and I'll be screen recording the whole video. So make sure when you see me looking on my side, I am just making sure that every little detail of today's tutorial is captured, that I do not forget anything or miss anything out. So let's dive in. Learn with me. You're welcome. All right. So today's automating referencing system is called Zotero. So Zotero is an open source, free software that you can download online, install it in your device, and use it for your references. So the first step is installing Zotero in your device. So how do you install Zotero in your device? So what you need to do to install Zotero in your device is to go into your browser, whichever browser that you prefer. Then log into your browser. I'll open my browser and I hope you can see my screen. I am recording it. So right now I'm on Google Chrome, which is my preferred browser. Go here and search Zotero. So when you search Zotero on your browser, it will bring you onto the Zotero page. And you can click Zotero, your personal research assistant. Yes, so you can see clearly that on the web page of Zotero software, it says that Zotero is a free, easy to use, I can testify, really easy to use tool to help you collect, organize, annotate, cite, and share research. Then click download Zotero. So when you click download, it will give you two options. You can download Zotero for Windows 64-bit if your laptop is using a Windows software, and then you can explore other versions if you're using Mac or other versions of the Windows or software. So for me, I download the 64-bit. You come here and click download, and your download will begin. As you can see here, my download has already started. Once you download the Zotero software, this will take you a minute or two to download. It's not such a big software that will take a long time. Then make sure to install the Chrome connector or the browser connector, that depending on the browser that you're using. So for me, since I'm using Chrome, I'll install Chrome connector. Chrome connector basically helps you install or helps you connect your references into your Zotero with just a click from the online browsers. So you will click install Chrome connector. I will not do this on my end because I already have done it. I already have Zotero installed in my device, and I have already the connector installed in my device as well. So as you can see, the download took a very short time, and it's actually in the Zotero setup software. It's already in my downloads folder. You can see it's already on my downloads folder. So if you have not installed Zotero, Then you will need to come here and right click the setup application and click open, and then remove protection if you have any protections that are preventing it from running, and then install it on your device. Follow all the installation process. So for me, I will stop here because I already have installed it. Okay, so once you have installed it and you have installed the Zotero connector, next thing is now to go into your Zotero and open it. Open the software itself. So for me, I'll come and search my installed Zotero application, and here it is. I hope you can see it. I'll say open, and my Zotero software or application is opening. There you go. So I've used this for some years now, and as you can see, it's very busy. It has a lot of folders for different projects and a lot of articles that I've already put in there that I used for referencing my work. All right, so once you have installed and you're ready to start writing and referencing, then you will decide, the first thing is to create a library. I usually prefer organizing my libraries into the different project names so that it's easy to track the articles or references that you've used on a particular work or a particular project. So remaining organized saves you a lot of time eventually. So for instance, for today's test project, we will open a folder or a new library called Zotero tutorial. We will open a new folder under my library called Zotero tutorial. So I'll click here. You can see there are different items on the toolbar over here. So we have this over here that allows you to create a new collection. So when you click this one, it adds a new collection under your library. When you click here, it creates a new library. So you can see that I have two main libraries, not two, actually I have many libraries in my Zotero. I have my library that has several project folders. Then I have group libraries. These are projects that I've been working with a group of people. So you can choose to create your library anyhow, either under groups, if it's group projects, or under my library if these are individual projects. Okay, then we have this button or icon here that allows you to add new items into your library, to add new references or new references into your library. Then we have this one that allows you to add items by identifier. Actually, this is one way of adding your references into your library, like the easiest way of adding. Then we have this one here. Then we have this one here that allows you to add a note. Maybe you want to make a note about a specific reference to come to later or to remind you something. This allows you to add notes. This one, for example, maybe you added an article or a reference into your library, but it did not have a PDF attachment or attached to it. Then eventually you've been able to access the PDF version. Then this allows you to add either PDFs, either images, either any attachments that you'd like to attach to a specific reference. This icon here allows you to add or to attach. Then we have this for advanced search. So like in my case, I have so many articles that I've already uploaded in my library. If I want to search them by specific either name, title, or search detail, I can use the advanced search button. All right, so this window also has different tabs. So you have this area on your left here, on my left. This basically shows you the libraries and the different folders that you've created under your libraries in terms of organizing your work. Then we have this middle section here that basically shows you the specific articles that you have or references that you've uploaded into your different folders. For instance, if I click this specific folder here, you can see the articles that are inside. And you can even see the title of the article uploaded, the author or creator, the author of that article, just first author, and then you can see the attachments. And if you come here and click this arrow, it shows you more details under the specific reference. So for instance, this is the article, the author, and this attachment is even here. So if I come and double click here, I can see more details about the article. It's indexed. It was modified on 12th January 2023 at 14:41 hours. It's an article of 2 pages, and the file name is this, which is also this one here. And if I double click that article, it opens the complete article on another tab for me to be able to read and review the article. And you can see it's a 2-page article, and so on and so forth. It's a commentary. So this software makes your work really easy. Even when you want to do a literature review, once you upload all your articles with the PDF attachments here, you can review them real time using the Zotero software and put annotations as you go along. You can see from the PDF document that has been opened on this tab, I can still decide to color code it. I can still decide to select an area of this article, or I can decide to even highlight areas of these articles as I read it or as I review it. Right, let's go back to the Zotero tab. And the next step that I would like us to do is to learn how to create a library. As I said, today we're going to create a library called Zotero tutorial. And to create a new library, I'll come to this new library icon and click plus and say new group. And it will open the groups folder here and allow me to choose a name. So it has taken me to the online Zotero page. So while here, I'll be able to say Zotero tutorial 2025. Yes. All right, so I'll come here and say create group. I'll say create group, and then I'll come back to my Zotero and refresh. Hope you can see this small green icon here for refreshing. Yeah, I've just realized that I am not connected to internet, and because it went to the online page, then I need to be connected to internet to be able to refresh. To be able to refresh and be able to sync whatever the group I created online into this, into my okay, so I'll quickly check my internet connectivity and then I'll be right back. Yes, so I have created a group called 2025 Tutorials. Um, and there you go. And I've said save settings. Hope you can see. Say save settings. And I'll go back and check if this has reflected. So as you can see, 2025 tutorial has reflected as a new group. Okay, so under the new group, I can now decide to add a folder. Okay, so I can decide to add a folder, and this folder will comprise of a new collection for a very specific project. So I'll click collection, add a new collection, and under new collection I'll say test collection. Say 2025 tutorial, or I can call it collection 1. Collection 1 tutorial is the project name. Just to make sure, like 5-10 years down the line, when you come back to your folders and collections in libraries, you can actually understand or figure out or make sense of the things that you wrote. Or you can link the collection to a specific project. That's very important. So once you create your collection, what next do you want to do? So the next very important step is to add your references. So we have various methods of adding references into our libraries. And the first method is adding the references manually. So adding the references manually. So when you want to add a reference, when you're writing your papers, what you do is you go to, let's say, various databases. And for this example, I'll use PubMed. So we'll go to PubMed database and search for articles that are relevant to our project. So I'll go to PubMed and then I'll open the database and then search what interesting topic. Mental health. You can say substance use among adolescents. Substance use among adolescents. Let's assume that's our current project that you're working on. So we will search and we will find very many articles. As you can see here, we have identified 82,000 articles from this search. So you'll go through your search output and see what are the relevant articles that you would like to include in your paper or in your scientific write-up. So the first article here is substance use disorders in children and adolescents. This is a relevant article for our project, and as you can see from PubMed, this already has an available free PMC article. So since this already has this other one, prevention of substance use disorder, we could say it's a relevant article as well, but it doesn't have a PDF attachment available. So we'll use this second article to demonstrate our first method, which is adding references manually. So if I'll click this article and open it, and this is prevention of substance use disorders. It does not have a PDF available that I can just drag into my Zotero and pick the metadata for this particular article. So when you're adding manually, you need to try and probably, for me, I prefer to minimize the pages such that I'm able to see both the PubMed page that has the article details on one page, on one half of my screen, and also see the other half of the Zotero software on my screen. So this makes my work easier. So I hope you can still see my screen. So I have minimized in a way that I am able to see both my PubMed page and my Zotero page on the same screen. So you can see my cursor is still on the collection 1. That we are creating this collection, we are building up this collection for our current project. So I can easily minimize this page this way. Sorry if I've lost you. So I hid that area that shows the collections and so on and so forth. And then I'll come here and say, this is my Zotero page. I'll come here and say, add new item into my collection. Add new item. And up here you can see that the collection we are building is collection 1 under the Zotero tutorial. So I'll come and say add new item. This is the first method of adding our references manually to build our collection. I'll click and I'll say I'm adding a journal article. As you can see here, you can add so many things. You can add a book section, a journal article, a report, a thesis. You can link this to file, an email, a film, an interview, a letter. Like, you can reference literally everything. There is no reason why we should plagiarize any work. You can reference literally anything and everything. So for us, we are referencing a journal article. So once we say it's a journal article, Zotero gives us all the specific metadata areas for a journal article, the things that it expects you to fill in. So for our manual methods, we need to identify all these specific details from our articles and come and fill them in. So I'll reduce this again so that we can see both pages. So the first thing we need here, already it has told us the referenced article type is a journal article. So we need a title, which is clearly here. So we Control C, which is copy from the PubMed page, and come and paste it on the article, on the title page. Then the next thing we need is author. So we come here and look. So for Zotero, the format of putting in your author names is last name, then first name. So as you can see here, first name is Leah, Nelson is second name, first name is last name, first name, last name. So we'll just pick this as they are. Personally, to make my work easier, I prefer to just do copy and paste to make sure that I am not missing out on putting in incorrect spelling or things like those. So I prefer to copy and paste, makes it faster, easier, and even more accurate. So last name, first name. So once you put your first one, you click enter, and you still have more authors. You come here and click this plus button. It allows you to be able to add another author. So I'll come back here and copy last name and put it here. Then come and copy last name plus initial and put it here and press enter. I still have one more author. I'll come and do plus again and copy last name and paste it here, and then copy first name and paste it here. Make sure to double check very well that you have put it in correctly, the spelling is correct, everything is correct. For instance, if you happen to click at this plus button thinking that you have another author and you don't, worry not. Just come here and click this minus button, that one, and automatically that will be removed. So that is it. And so for the abstract, You'll scroll and check that this has an abstract. Yes, it does. You can come and copy our abstract plus the keywords and paste it in our abstract section. It's very important for you to paste every single detail that you have, because in the near future you are gonna need this, and you don't want to be guessing, second guessing, like what was this and so on and so forth. So you can clearly come here and quickly look through the abstract, and it will tell you and give you an overview of the article. So next we need the publication. So you come back here and see what publication was this. So this was Med Clean North. Sometimes when the journals, the publications are written in initials, you may not have a clear understanding on what the full meaning is. So for me, when I'm saving my articles manually, I prefer to put in the full names of the publications and not the initials. So make use of your Google. Make Google your friends. There's a professor who liked to tell us to make Google our friends, and I've really tried to make Google my friend in everything that I do, and it is so helpful. So you would have guessed wrong, but here we are. The truth, msema kweli, as we usually say, that Google sometimes is a msema kweli. That publication is a peer-reviewed journal called Medical Clinics of North America. Who would have guessed? So I'll come and copy the correct in full publication name and come and paste it here. Then the volume, we go back to our PubMed page and look at the volume. So from the reference, from the metadata details here, we can see that this article was published in 2002. I can quickly go to the date and put that in 22 January. It was volume 106, issue 1. So usually the volume is usually the number outside the brackets, and the issue is usually the number inside the brackets. So the volume number is 106. Come and put that here. The issue number is 1. Then the page numbers, it's 153. You can see it here, 153 to 168. Come and put it here, 153 to 168. And then series, we don't have series title, series text, we don't have all those. So far we've captured everything here except the DOI, Digital Object Identifier. This is very, very important. Make sure you copy it and you look for the DOI section and paste it there. Come and look through carefully to make sure you're not missing out on any specific detail or any specific metadata. So next is the, so far we've captured everything. I will say the date accessed is very important. It will remind you 10 years down the line. So we accessed this article on 20th March 2025. And what else could we put in? We have PMID. Do we have a section for PMID here? No. So far so good. We literally have everything that we could capture. We've captured everything that we could capture from this article, and that's it. You can see, let me enlarge the page. You can see that we already have the title, we already have the creator, and on the attachment area it's blank because we did not find the full text PDF of this article, so it has no attachment. In future, if you find, you'll just come here to this attach icon and attach link to URL, or attach stored copy, or attach link to file, anything like that. All right, so that is our first method, adding our references manually. We are now going to, I'm now going to demonstrate the drag and drop method. Right, so I hope you can all clearly see my screen and hear me. So this is our folder that we created earlier and where we uploaded all our PDF documents And what I will do is I'll pick uh, the Thomasia's article, come and click on the collection for our project today, which is Zotero Tutorial 2025. I'll come to my folder and pick that specific article and drag it into the collection, Zotero Tutorial 2025 collection, as you can see me doing. So I have dragged it, and there you go. You can see the reference manager is actually updating that reference. So we'll give it some time for it to be able to import the metadata to that specific reference. And we'll give it some time, and within a few minutes, it's supposed to have updated the metadata, and all the details for that reference should appear on the far right of my screen, as you can see where I'm pointing with my cursor. Okay. So you need to have internet connection so that the Zotero software is able to connect with the online Zotero and also the reference pages, so that it's able to import the metadata into the reference manager. As it's still refreshing, I'll also drag another article, which is this one by Karina et al. 2017. And there you go. And you can see as I drag it, it's coming in with the attachment, which means in the future, when you want to review these articles, you can review them straight from the reference manager. Yeah, you don't have to review them from outside reference manager. You can review them from here, take notes, highlight areas that you'd like to highlight that are of interest, and even select specific areas that you'd like to revisit in the near future. Okay, so let's give it some time. You can see from this arrow, from this rotating arrow right here, that it's still updating. Okay, so when you give it some time to update, allow me to show you a few other functions that we may do as you give it some time to refresh. It's taking a few minutes. So as you can see, it's saying syncing files in my library for remaining. So that's okay. So as you can see, I encountered this error of refreshing references over here, and when I clicked it, it said you have reached your Zotero file storage quota. Some files were not uploaded. Other Zotero data will continue to sync to the server. See your zotero.org account settings for additional storage options. So when I clicked open account settings, and we will see what that says. It says that it gives you various options, storage options. For the free version of Zotero, you are given storage up to 300 MB. Then larger storages, you need more. You need to pay for to get more spaces. That is 2 GB for $20 and 6 GB for $60. Then unlimited for $20. So what we will do is that we can delete some of the things that we no longer need, and that we no longer need, so that we can just create more space in our folder. So for instance, I'll come here and delete collection and items. That one I no longer need. Delete collection and items. I'll come here and delete collection and items here as well. Yeah, I'll delete that one as well to allow me create more space and to be able to sync. I'll delete this one as well. Delete collection and items. Okay. Delete collection and items here. So having deleted that, I'll come back again to my folder and try sync again and see. Yeah, so allow me to enlarge so that you can see clearly. So I dragged the Rosemary 2023 paper. It took a minute and it was able to update all the reference details. You can see here all the metadata were successfully imported and populated in their correct spaces. So we have the date, we have the page number, the volume, the issue, the title, the type of article. All the authors have been clearly and accurately picked. It's still important to go through your reference metadata just to confirm that everything has been accurately captured, and if you need to modify anything, then you do at this stage, so that when you go to referencing in your academic paper or document, then you have it referenced correctly. So I'll demonstrate this again with another PDF. So you'll come back to your folder where you've saved your PDFs and drag. We will drag this one by Thomasius. And we'll give it a few minutes to allow it to sync to the online metadata. And you can see it has just taken like 3 seconds and it has updated all the metadata. So this is my second favorite method because it's quite simple. You just need to download the PDF, save it in a folder and drag it into your reference manager. And there you go. You have all your reference metadata picked by the Zotero. Alright, so at this stage, I will go to my most favorite method number 3. Alright, so method number 3 is using the online, using the icon, by adding items by identifier. So we can use PDF versions to find an identifier. For example, this article by Kulak et al. 2019, you can scroll through and check if it has any identifiers such as the PubMed ID, PMID, or the DOI. Or the DOI, or you can even check the options that Zotero prefers to use as identifier. So you come and click on this icon. I hope you can see where my cursor is. And the identifiers that Zotero recognizes include ISBN, DOI, which is Digital Object Identifier, PMID, which is PubMed ID or identifier, then AR, XIV IDs, AXIV IDs, ADS because it identifies all these kinds of identifiers, and once you paste them in here, it's able to search the databases and import all the metadata that are associated with that specific article. So if you have your PDFs and you want to use this method, then you can come and check your PDF and see if you can find any such identifiers. If not, then you can use first method or second method. So since in this particular article we do not have such an identifier, then we will go to our PubMed and I'll show you where it's best to actually apply this particular method. We'll go to PubMed. So we will go to PubMed and search for our relevant project articles. So go to PubMed database, which is one of the largest databases. Then our project was related to substance use in adolescents. Okay, so we will search. And I'll use an article, this article on depression and suicidal behaviors in adolescents, because this one does not have an available PDF, free PDF. You probably need to pay a subscription for you to access this article. So this is one of the best articles that you will need to reference using the method number 3. So I'll click on the article and open it, and I'll look for the specific identifiers that I mentioned. We have the PMID here. So I'll use the PMID here and copy it, Control C, then go back to my Zotero and click that icon for add items by identifier and paste my PMID there and press enter. And just allow Zotero to do its job. Allow it to search and find. And as you can see, it has taken 2 seconds and our article has been added. There's a difference between these 2 articles down here and the first and second articles. And if you look keenly, you can clearly see that the article on depression and suicidal behavior in adolescents has no PDF attachment. Yes, but when we click on this article and look on my far right, this side, you can see that it has accurately picked all the metadata and populated them in their correct sections of the metadata tabs. So that is the first method, and we've used the first one of the identifiers, and you can see it has worked perfectly. For this same article, allow me to demonstrate a different identifier. So I'll go back to PubMed, to where we opened, and this time round we will use DOI, Digital Object Identifier. So in this article we have 2 different identifiers that you can use to add. The choice is up to you. You can choose to use whichever. The end justifies the means. So I'll also copy the DOI. Make sure you don't copy the word DOI and colon, just copy the DOI number itself. So Control C, then go back to our Zotero software, add item by identifier and paste it there. Press enter and allow Zotero software to do its job. Within 2 seconds, it has updated the article. So here we go. We have the article on depression and suicidal behavior here that was added using the DOI. And as you can see, it has populated the metadata accurately. And this side, we have the one that was added using the PMID, which is also a different identifier, PubMed ID, and it has also populated the metadata accurately. That is method number 3. All right. So, those are the 3 main methods of adding references into your Zotero software that I have used severally, and I have loved them because they have made uh, my referencing work so easy and fun. All right, so now that we have our references into the software, the next very important step, and why you're going through all this hassle of creating your references into the software, is so that when you start writing, you make your work even way easier by when you want to add these references into your Word document write-up. So the next step will be us adding. How do we add? The next big question is, how do we add these references into our Word documents, both in text and the reference list or the bibliography? And how do we format them into the different styles? Maybe you want to use APA, you want to use Harvard, you want to use whichever method that has been subscribed or recommended to you. How do we use this software to make our work easier, to make sure that our reference styles are accurate and they look good and they are automatic? Right, so that is the next step. Now that we have our references into the reference software, we will open our Word document and begin writing. So that's me opening the Word document, and a new blank document, and our project is substance use among the adolescent population. Okay, so I'll increase the font just to make sure that everyone can see very, very clearly. So we'll make it 14, and I'll bold the title. Right, so you begin your writing after reading your articles. So I'll just write random things for the example for today's tutorial, but for you, of course, you will have rich content in your write-ups. So you write. Okay, so I think I'll use what I've done so far to demonstrate how to add the references into your Word document. Okay, and full stop. So that's our write-up. So let's say reference number 1 needs to be added here. So what you do is, remember, I told you when you're installing your Zotero software, you need to install the Word plugin. And you'll only know that Word plugin has been successfully installed if it appears on your Word documents on one of the tabs in the taskbar. I think this part is called taskbar, on the taskbar. So as you can see, my Word template or document has a Zotero tab on the taskbar. So what you do is, once you've opened your Zotero software on your computer and you've started writing up, wherever you want to enter or insert an in-text citation, you put your cursor there where you want to insert your citation, come to the Zotero tab, I think my Word document has hung. Let me just adjust so that you can see the full screen of the Word document. Okay, so you come to the Zotero and click, and it will open and give you various options. So you have an option to add or edit citation, add or edit bibliography. Bibliography is the reference list that shows you the complete reference down there. To insert a note, refresh if you've made any changes in your references, document preferences, or unlink citations. So for us, we want to add or edit citation. We want to add citation. So we'll click add citation, and it will open for you If it's your first time using the Zotero software in this document, it will allow you to choose the reference style that you'd like to use. Understand most academic institutions prefer the American Psychological Association 7th edition, which is APA 7th edition style. You can choose that or any other. And if the style changes in the course later on, no problem, you can still come here and change. So this is not to worry. So for this tutorial, we will go with APM 7th edition. You'll select it and say OK. So once you say OK, it will allow you, it will give you this small tab for you to choose the specific citation that you'd like to insert. So you need to at least know the author name to be able to search your references using the author name. So if you don't remember, you can quickly come to your Zotero tab and look at the authors. So for this one, you want to insert the citation by Rosemary. So you'll come and write Rose. You just need to start writing. Even if you can't remember the spelling or the full name, just start a few letters and it will bring all citations that have authors with their names in that order, spelled that way. So we want Rosemary 2023, we will come and click it and say enter. And Zotero will do its magic. As you can see, our reference is in here. Our reference has been successfully inserted. Right. You may be asking, what about if I have three different references to insert for one statement? No problem, you can still do that with Zotero. So what we will do is, maybe we have Rosemary and two other authors or two other articles that spoke about a specific thing and you want to reference. So we have Rosemary, Thomasians, and Grossberg and Rice who spoke about a specific. You want to add these three references on one sentence. So what we will do is we will come back to Word, go to Zotero on the tab, say add citation, then we start with Rosemary. So we'll come and select Rosemary, then press space, and when you press space, the cursor will just move to the next spot where you're supposed to add the next reference. So the next reference, we said it is Thomasians. So we'll come and start typing Thomasians, and it's here. You can see, you select it, you space again, and you can add as many references as you would like to. So the third reference that we'd like to add to that statement is, you can go back and check, it's Grossberg. So you will just come and type again, Grossberg. You can see it has appeared here. So once you've put in all the references that you'd like to add, you press enter again, and you can see our reference has been successfully added. So for you to know that that reference is automatic and has been added using a reference software, when you put your cursor on the reference, it automatically highlights the whole reference. So that tells you that that is an automated in-text reference. All right. So you may ask, what if I have added one, and then when I was reading or doing my literature review, I realized that there is one more person who has published about the same topic, and I would like to reference them because it's a more recent study, it's more latest evidence. No problem. You come back and click on the reference you'd like to edit, then come back to Zotero on the tab and say edit citation. Still add stroke edit, same thing. So you say edit citation and it brings that tab again, and you're able to add any citation, or if you cited by mistake an author, you can come at this part and still delete them. So for instance, for us, we remembered that this specific author called Squelia also said something about this statement. So we want to add them. So we'll come here say edit citation space, and then start typing their names, and you can say click on it and say enter, and you can see that now both of them are being referenced in this in-text citation. If, for instance, later on we think like, this sequela, we added them in error and we need to edit and remove them. Very easy. We just come here and say edit, go to Zotero on the tab, say edit citation, then come and just backspace and it deletes them, and you say enter. And you can see it automatically removes them. So once you are done referencing, putting in your in-text citations, then the next most important thing that you want to do is to put in your bibliography or your reference list. So you will go at the end of your document or where you want to add your references, write the title of that section, which is references, and then come to the Zotero on the tab here and say add bibliography. Add bibliography, give it a minute or so, and it will automatically add your bibliography or your reference list below the document. How wonderful! How wonderful! So that's why I love this software so much, because it makes your work easier. So as you go on, once you've added your references, you don't have to keep adding as you add your citations. If you come back to your document and want to add a reference here, let's say we want to add Sequelia actually talked about this statement. We come to Zotero, add citation, and we add Sequelia et al. 2019 and say enter. You will notice that this has been automatically added onto your reference list. So the more you keep writing and putting in in-text citation, the more your reference list will keep getting longer and longer, because all your in-text citations will automatically be added into your reference list, and you won't need to keep going back and forth. That's how sweet the automation is using the Zotero software. Now we have the methods. We have seen the first method of adding references, which is manual. We have seen the second method, which is drag and drop. And we've seen the third method, which is adding references using an identifier. We have learned how to add our in-text citations using Zotero software. And we have learned how to create our bibliography or our reference list using the Zotero software. So at this point, I think you have the tool and you have all you need. This tool can also help you do literature review. As I had said earlier, I'll take you back to the Zotero software, and we will use the articles that already have their PDFs. For those that don't have like this, and this, if you manage to get the PDF, you can just drag it and come and upload it on the specific reference, like attach. You can come and attach, you can come and click on this, then say file. You can come and drag your PDFs here. So for instance, for depression we don't have. So let me go to the folder and just find a random PDF, for example, this one by Kulak, and drag it to depression. And as you can see, already on the depression article, on this article for depression, already the PDF has appeared. So we have the PDF by Kulak. You see? By Bruce. Yeah, we have the PDF by Kulak. Okay, so that's how you add your PDFs into the document. So if you're doing your literature review, you can begin by adding all your PDFs into the Zotero software, then come and click on, we can use the rosemary paper, come and double click on the PDF copy, and it will open the PDF on a new tab. So you can come using the Zotero software, read your article. Once you come across a statement or a claim that sounds interesting, you can highlight it. So here we have the highlight text. So here we have on this first part here is highlight text on the document. This second one here is add a note. If you want to come back to this article and you need to remember something when you come back later, you can add a note. You can select an area in this article that maybe is of interest, and when you'll be critiquing or even presenting this paper at an audience, maybe you need to highlight some area. You can use this tool to highlight, and you can color code your papers. So I'll demonstrate how to highlight. You'll come and click here and come to the article that the part of the article that you feel is very important and you'd like to draw attention to it, and just do that. And then if you unclick highlight, and that's it. When you come back a week, a month, or a year later, these areas that you've highlighted will draw attention to you. If you want to even elaborate further on the areas you've highlighted, you can say add a note. You can add a note, select where you want to add a note, and type your note. Maybe we can say to revisit. Okay, and every time you come, it didn't type, so I will redo to consult maybe, or to research further. Anything that you'd like to take note of, you can type. So anytime you come back to this note, it doesn't matter how many years later, it will remind you of what you needed to do. So remember, this is an area that you've also, let's say you've also highlighted, and then you've put a note. So this is a very important function. All right. So the other one is this one. Select the area. Maybe you want to. The methods of this study are important. So you can come here and highlight there, or you can come here and change color to red and highlight another area that is probably of interest to you. I mean, select and leave it selected, so that when you come back to this article later, you can have selected areas, put notes. You've selected this one, you've put a note. See, say to explore further. See, and you put the note next to the area you've selected. So it makes your work really easy, and it makes you also be organized, especially when you're doing very intense literature reviews. Then this function really helps you to stay organized, to always be on top of your game when you're doing a literature review. And also it helps you remember. You don't need to struggle to remember. You need to put in place systems that will help you remember, and also make your work easier generally. Yeah, right. So before I come to an end, I'll just give you some heads up on when you encounter some challenges, how do you go about it? I initially had no idea that you needed to pay up for Zotero to access more space. But while I was trying to sync my drag and drop PDFs for the Zotero to pick up on metadata, I realized that my space was actually full because I have done so many projects using the Zotero software. And after you utilize 300 MBs, that's the space that Zotero gives you for free for cloud to be able to save your references. Once you utilize that space and it's full, then you need to incur a cost to purchase more space, 2 GB, 6 GB and above, or even unlimited. It will cost you something. So that is very new information to me, and as I was researching and preparing to give you this in-depth step-by-step tutorial, then I have also learned a lot through this process. So I'm glad that you have learned something, and this tutorial is going to make your work easier, and that I have also learned something while preparing and delivering this tutorial. So I hope you liked this video. If you would like more um, guidance, step-by-step tutorials on similar things in the research space, in the academic space, please do not hesitate to put it on the comment section, and I'll be able to do research around it and come and deliver for you that specific, how you can go about solving that particular issue that you would like guidance on. So I've enjoyed delivering this tutorial for you. I hope you've enjoyed listening and you have learned a lot. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, to share, to subscribe to my YouTube channel, and come again and again to watch more educative content like this one. Adios!